All right, good afternoon. Officially, welcome out, everyone. Happy Friday to the Market Watch Group Weekly Market Wrap. As always, I'm Scott. Excuse me. All right, let's get cracking here. As always, disclaimers. Illustrative and educational purposes only, not advisors, not brokers. We don't give advice. We don't give recommendations. What are we going to do today? Market analysis. Good, strong week. I hope you capitalized. I hope you are still capitalizing. Tell me what you're in. Tell me what you closed. Tell me what you opened. We'll revisit our market posture. We'll look at trades carrying. I'm definitely going to carry some things over the weekend. We'll look at those. What we're looking at next week. Everything's pretty in order. Yeah, for a nice fall rally, Chris Santa rally, nice start of next year. These are strong months cyclically. November, December, January, February, March. This is a strong window, cyclically speaking. Especially if you have contextual strength, meaning the Fed is in an accommodative stance. GDP is already at 3%. Inflation has come down. Now, prices remain somewhat elevated. I recognize that. But inflation itself is back down in the twos where they want it to be, right? Jobs have been strong, have stayed strong. There's been a couple of little signs of weakness here or there, but overall, labor's strong. Corporate results are strong. We are poised. Am I wrong? What am I missing? Someone played devil's advocate. We just had an election without any problems. We knew the answer at the end, and there will be a peaceful transfer of power. So our market posture in the midst of our October, right? Mini doldrums in October never dropped below 475 or 45, whatever it was. Market went sideways. It was a good, profitable month, October. I mean, I feel like, the monkey's asleep in the cage. The professor's sipping a cocktail. It's Friday afternoon, sipping a cocktail at the computer. And again, tell me, what am I missing? All right, let's go through it all. It's a small but mighty group today. I love it. Okay, let's get some charts up here. Let's start with Walmart. What am I going to do with it? Nothing. I'm just going to hold on to it. All I needed to do is just sort of move along. Someone might be like, oh, but the stochastics is rolling over. That's our last consideration. Last. Is the trend holding up? You can see it could go sideways for a little bit from here. It could go sideways right across. Great. Sideways is fine. If I'm anywhere near 85 at the end of next week, I am very close to max gain on this trade. Yeah, looks good now. Now, if someone's like, Scott, I'm going to take profit on it. Yeah, sure. Don't take all of it. Take less than half if you're going to take anything. I think this trade looks like it's doing exactly what it was supposed to do and expected to do. It wasn't expected to be a fast mover. And so we did the spread. Out of curiosity and just so I understand, who has a piece of Walmart still, at least? Anybody? Strong day today. Yes. Equity, Clint says. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, the spread's playing out pretty well. I like how it's playing out. This is looking out This is looking just like I think we'll kind of slide on in. Take I might look for max gain on this. We'll see where it is when we hit 80% next week. Let's take a look at that for a second. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot to do it. See that? I'm 5 minutes in. This is my trader's minute. I have 60 seconds to analyze this. Let me pull up the original alert. I'm so bad. So it's funny. My wife teases me because when I used to coach my son's soccer team, I actually used to have to draft and it was competitive soccer, right? It was like comp, but I'd draft lineups and just have reminders that would go off on my phone at 5 minutes. These kids come in, and otherwise I would get sucked into the game, and just all of a sudden it would be halftime. I'd look over at the bench, all the kids were sad because they didn't play. I'm like, oh shit. Anyway, it's still funny. But I do. It's just like this. I'll get into it. I'll start talking. Even now, as I tell that story, my ADD kicks in. So let me grab the Walmart alert info. Okay. Walmart. We don't want fast. Walmart is here. Let me get my timer. Good to see you, Bob. Good to see you. If anyone else is in it, but this is good to talk about. KKR, yeah, that was a good one. Loved it. I booked it all. I'm out. 1 minute. Ready, go. Okay, Walmart. Alert came out on the 1st of October, if you remember. That was back here. We got the alert. The volatility was high. The alert came out as a bull call spread. We were only looking at this as a 2-week. I went to the November's bull call spread. This is a 82 by 85, $3 spread. I only paid $1.18 for it. I was only risking about half of the $1.18. Right now, if I risk $1.18. That means I have about $3.80 on the other side. So a lot of reward to risk on this trade. At this point, I've got plenty of risk left, plenty of reward left. This is where the trade ends. I'm going to stick with this. I'm looking for max gain. We'll touch base with this again early next week. Boom. That was 1 minute. Okay. I still actually have more to say, but that's enough for somebody to play around with. Let me show you this. Okay, 466 out of I think 700 on I don't know what I did on this account. Four contracts. 728. So right now, is anyone still in KKR? Is anyone still in Fastenal? Is anyone still in Apple? I think those are the last 4 we did. Let me know which ones you might still have a piece of. I'll tell you which ones I have a piece of or which ones I've closed. I'm out of Fastenal and I'm out of KKR. Good gains. Real nice gains on both of those. Weekends. Yeah. Hit profit target and got out. Bam. Exactly right, Bob. Exactly right, Bob. Still in Apple? Me as well, Nick. Me as well. Apple and Walmart. Same as Bob. Profit target. I love it. God, you guys are amazing. Literally amazing. I'm going to have, I didn't think I would. Obviously, there was some news that, I was not all that excited about. But I'm an optimist. I look forward. I only go forward. What's the focus? This market. That's the focus. Trading's going well, man. Right? That's it. Okay. What I was gonna do 444 out of 728. We're at about 60% right now. So if someone took some, I could see it. I'm not gonna take anything until I get to 80 because it just is going well, right? So let's play it out.
We're now here. We're at 85. Target was 86. I don't know if I'll close it at the target. If I get to my target, I'm at 600. 600 out of 728. Now, yeah, I'll take some of it there. Or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. By Monday, we're about 500. We're not there yet. Let's see where 728 times 0.8, 582. That's about here, 85 and a half on Monday. Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see. If it shoots past 86, I'll probably just sit on it and look for max gain. Take 700 of it. I don't know. It'll be a good trade. That's good. Let's see. So some took profit. It's at the same place. Now, the profit target on KKR, I believe, was like 152, right? And it got to it. It's right there now. But the stochastics is still pointing up. So if you were like, took most and have some where you're like, hey, let the winner run. Let's see what it can do. There's no argument ever to be made against that. Always sound logic. So that's fast. We did KKR. Let's take a look at Apple. See, this one, I think you've got plenty where we caught back up. We're a little below. Stochastics looks fine. I think we look fine for this thing to try to catch up. Plenty of momentum. Let's just look at the the Heikin Ashi. I mean, yeah, let's jack the stop up to around 224 going into next week. I believe that puts it into even a profitable stop zone, if I'm not mistaken. Apple looks good. Yeah. Okay. Let's get out of that. So we did Walmart. We did KKR. Apple. Oh, Fastenal. I mean, honestly, you could make the argument that the stochastics is still showing, but for me, you're really at the same place as you were here when we took some off. I just took it all. I'm done with it. You can see that the volume has dropped off significantly. Kind of a hanging man. Yeah, great. It got to the target again. Everything's, for me, it's mostly that Walmart hasn't gotten to its target yet, and there's still some momentum. Apple hasn't gotten to its target yet, and there's still momentum. So those make sense to carry. For me, that's where I'm at. Okay, let's go look at the posture. Good week. I mean, it was a good week. Honestly. SPY, strong. What do we have? Am I going to raise my short-term score? No, it's really just kind of back at the same. If you were to draw this line, I need a new drawing tool. I'm going to make a note and put it on my desk. And let's see if I can do it before Sunday. New drawing tool. Exclamation point. That means it's important. But visually, I don't see any change. I see this is one we could actually put in like a new set of lines right through here. Maybe we'll do that on Sunday, and then I think that'll be right where we are, which is a one. I don't think I have it up. Let me grab Market Posture Doc. Market Watch Posture Log. Okay. Okay. November 3rd. Okay, yes. Long-term trend. Oh, let's go look at that. That could be interesting, actually. So funny, right? Because I'm like, honestly, I still stick with my prior assessment. It's got to get above the halfway point, closer to this green line, because it's 2 times in a row that we didn't get there before this. But we keep dropping out of this green and then popping in, dropping out, popping in, dropping out, popping back in. I'm not going to change my score until if next week we get a follow-up that puts us more than halfway up of this midpoint. So if you see what I mean, like right there, I'm in the middle between the 2 green, 606, 605. If we get past that tomorrow or next week, then the following Sunday on the 17th, I'll give it another quarter point. But not yet. Short term, I've already said no. But here. So far for me, unchanged. Now what? Well, we're going to get another B and another B. We got 2 volume days in a row. Average 42. We had 47. That was a 10%. That was really strong volume there. So we got 2 Bs. So now all of a sudden we have 3 Bs as our freshest 1 sell, 1 tie. I think this is going to drop off, or at least we'll be close to. So then we'll have 2 sells and a tie with 3 buys. I don't know. That could jump to, I mean, I think I was still a minus 0.25. Minimum 0.25. Maybe a jump 2.5. That's my thought process right now. Bob says 0.5. See? Right? You think? I think at a minimum, this is going to take a 0.5 point jump, maybe a 3/4 point jump. That's a big volume shift. We know that we tend to see, this is the good news, right? Is that we know we tend to see market shifts in volume first. We can go back. In fact, I challenge you to go back on your own and look back at it. At times when we transition out of like questionable markets, look what goes first. And you're like, ooh, look, there was like it's volume and then short term. But the thing is here, we have volume going from negative to positive when we were already at a 4.75. So it's like, this is where I have expectations that we could kick into that 6.5, touch 7 market like we saw last year, but we're getting there sooner. Could last even longer. Yeah, right? Who's with me? Don't let me be overly optimistic. I want it to be empirical. But empirically, what we're seeing on volume is likely to give this at least a 0.5 point. Major market, we saw, I think, a significant more strength in small caps than large caps, meaning this was growth oriented. People are moving into the small caps. They see this as a good time. That's going to push this possibly, maybe not now, but soon to a 0.75. Sector rotation already jumped. I don't see that's getting any better than that. We already know the VIX is definitely getting a 0.25 point back. Let's go look at that. Again, empirical, the VIX. We have been flagging the VIX as a thorn because it's been just drifting around in these low 20s and never got above 23 3 times in a row. Bing, bing, bing. And then we liked just as it came down. We're like, look, it's going to be an opportunity. It's not a lower high. It was the same high. But as it comes off of this, we saw this as an opportunity. We got trades on. We smashed right through this low, all the way back to this low. What are we looking for now? So that is a lower low. That's all it gets. It's only a 0.25 point. It's only a 0.25 point for now. Because just like we identified when it has a big move up, the likelihood of a higher low is significant. We knew this was going to show up. The fact that it got all the way up here, we knew it was going to be, we thought it was going to come here, but it never materialized. But here it did. We knew it was coming. Well, guess what? It's the opposite now. When this comes up and it only gets to 17, 18, and then it turns over, that's a lower high. There's another quarter of a point. And that's when think about what we have then. At that next lower high, our posture is going to be probably a 6. And then that gives you additional confirmation of what? That the institution, it's not about us or other traders. All of us other traders are all moving around in waves created by traders bigger than us. Position traders, large retail traders, institutions. And so when we see these types of moves, this is when, we talk about ideal conditions and recognizing when we have the right conditions in our portfolio heat. When you think about, which you should have done last week, you should have spent some time on section 4 in your trading plan and have identified your heat. Whatever it is, you should be at that level in a market like we're moving into. Right? 14%, there it is. So if you have 14% divided across trades at 1.5, you should be thinking, I'm looking to have 10 trades on when I get waves of trades. I want chips on the table. That's what this is telling me. Yeah, okay. We've talked about the market. I think that the market posture is likely to go up at least 3/4 of a point, maybe even 1.25. Who thinks I'm right or wrong, or where do you think it is? So I think we'll be back to 1.5. Possibly straight to a 6. And we have not been a 6. I don't know what happened here. We have not been a 6 since April. Since April. That's cool. That'd be great. We know moving into this type of year with that type of a market, that is, with everything we have fed behind our, come on, as a group, we should collectively be looking at this and just thinking, what? We've got 5 sectors. Any dips, buy the dip. Find a bull market, buy the dip. If you catch something and it goes against you, you should expect that to be a hiccup. Don't bail early. Give it some grace. Give it some leeway. Don't take losses. Don't take losses easily. We still have to be willing to take losses. We can't just let nothing happen. But we've got to be it's got to be hey, I'm going to be pretty tight, but then do not exit if it doesn't break support. You give it some room. You let it figure it out. It'll bounce. That kind of a thing, right? Like we did with Apple, right? The market was going crazy at first, and what happened with Apple? Let me back out of this. Tell me if what I'm saying is making sense. In Apple here, the market was going nuts and this thing's flat and we're just great, just relax, it'll come. And even now, it's fine. It's about mindset right now. What is the mindset of a 4.75 moving into possibly a 5.5 or a 6? What's that mindset? Do I think the market could go into a brief consolidation? Sure, of course. Great. I hope it does. I'll have 8 to 10 trades lined up potentially. Looking for the next trade, press. Let's go forward. That's it. Let's go forward. Let's go find that next trade. I'm going to start at the top. Apple is really not. I would be even thinking, if I wasn't in it, I'd consider a continuation trade here. I can move my stop up. It's only the second day coming out of this Heikin-Ashi. But I think there's better. Let's keep looking around. What do we have? Aflac, waiting for this to potentially consolidate. I'm good at like 105.50 or above. If it pulls back and then bounces, that's fine. Amazon overextended. We've got to be patient for something like that. APO, same thing. We're just waiting to see if that pulls back. Oh my gosh, look at AppLovin. AppLovin. We loved it. Oh, I loved it. I'm like, oh, I just wanted to so bad. Okay, fair enough. AXP seems to be flagging a little bit here. So we're kind of seeing these things with buyer fatigue. Don't see much selling yet, but we do see like is it gonna pop? We're not surprised by that. We're not like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah, those were some amazing runs. BK's already flagging. Actually, I'd call that almost more than a flag. Still, I like that. I would definitely be willing. Look at the volume just drop off. This is moving into a setup position. BX overextended. If you're in it, you'd probably still hold on to something like that. Caterpillar, new high. Now it's starting to drop, pull back. Looks strong. CMG, if you're in it, still looks good. Coherent. Yeah, came out of earnings strong. I like it. Dow overextended. Fastenal overextended. I would say this is actually a potential if you wanted to take something that seems a little late, but still in cycle with financials. I just kind of like, I feel like the big cycle's better. I don't think I'm going to. Bitcoin is still going up. GE Vernova starting to top out, it feels. Gold is meandering. Google hit some resistance, maybe. We'll see. Goldman. There's a lot of that you can see. We've got earnings in a couple of days on Home Depot. Robinhood was strong coming out of earnings. Strong. Big move up, right back into this old trend. Now what? Wait for it to pull back and catch the next move back in line with this. Don't want to force trades. Be patient. IBM stuck under the 50. IWM, you can see there's that strength in the small caps we were talking about. JCI, strength. KKR, excuse me. Pardon me. That is, I think, if you wanted to keep trying and see if there's a little more left, great. I'd be at least booking a good amount of that because it got where it was supposed to get. MasterCard, maybe. Okay, so McDonald's is kind of stuck in this channel. We'll see if it has the ability to bust out of it. Meta, also kind of in a channel range. Morgan Stanley. I don't know. My thoughts are financials going into next week for a flag to short-term consolidation type of an opportunity. With Caterpillar, I think you have the same kind of thing in industrials. I don't know. The technology kind of seems like it still has a little play to the upside. I'm not really seeing setups there. Like if you look at, here's NVIDIA, there's Netflix. Netflix maybe topping out, but NVIDIA topping out. Palantir still going. PayPal still going. Yeah, it feels like the NASDAQ may or may not have some legs. Utilities, not much. Oh, SoFi was strong today. Look at that strength. Oh, there's the SPY. I think that maybe Monday, Tuesday, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some sideways action. Just like maybe it opens flat, runs up a little, comes down. Maybe it starts to drift. And then at that point, right, you see some pullbacks. Maybe you're taking profits on, like for me, Apple. I'm long call, so I'm more likely to take profits on that. Whereas Walmart, defensive, if it just sort of drifts around the 85 to 86 mark, I'm going to let it drift all the way until Thursday or Friday. But I do think we're looking for setups going into next week after we just ran hot. We ran hot. We blazed out quick. Now we're likely to see where there's just like, oh, man, okay. It's just back to business as usual. Markets pull back, but there's more optimism or enthusiasm, and the short-term trend resumes. We score it. Our posture improves. That's what we take with us going into Christmas. Yes. Tesla. Still going. Oh, it's a cult stock, and the cult members are being paid right now in spades. I taught a guy, engineer, and he, this was, I can't even remember how far back it was. It was a while back. And I mean, he had like maybe 300 grand in it. And he would trade with a little bit, and he's just like, I'm never touching it. He was just a believer. He was rewarded, man. He just held it, and I mean, he's like, I bought one. I just put it in my garage. Anyway, it's pretty funny. I should reach out and see what he's doing these days. TSM, kind of running out of steam. TTD. Now, see how interesting this one was on earnings. It ran up all the way before they smashed it. Expecting 22 cents, got 41. Gap down and then got it all back, but still didn't get back to yet. Got higher than the previous day, but not quite to the open. That's crazy in there. The dollar's shaking around a bit right now. The VIX is pretty stable, but coming down. Walmart staying strong, staying fine. Like I said, let's see what this does. Materials pulling back a little. Communication services pulling back a little. Energy up a little. Financials up a little. Industrials up a little. When I get into Walmart now, let me go back to that here in 1 second. Technology's looking a little overextended. Staples. We'll see. Utilities. I mean, utilities and staples could be breaking out of their consolidations a little bit. We'll see. Same thing with healthcare. I don't know. But then you got consumer discretionary, led, of course, by Amazon and even more so Tesla. When I get into Walmart now, no, I would have a hard time getting with the stochastics looking the way it was. If I wasn't already in, I'd have a hard time getting in with the earnings coming up so quickly. I liked the way that the trade had that earnings just like 2 days in front of windows, or 2 days in front of the earnings, because that allowed me to sell the implied volatility when it's high. But one of the problems oftentimes when you sell high implied volatility with earnings is you never benefit from it unless you hold through earnings. In order for it to drop, you have to hold through earnings. Unless it expires. So I'm like, oh, look at that. Expires 2 days before earnings. Great. That's kind of that fortuitous positioning also to some extent led to the thought process behind that trade. Okay. Yeah. Posture's going to go up. carrying some bullish trades. It sounds like you guys are also carrying some bullish trades, but also looking for the next round of trades. I think we have some of both. I think that's what the market will give us. I'm going into it with an expectation that my market posture will increase at least 3/4, possibly up to a 1 1/4. I anxiously look forward to Sunday meeting with you guys. We have one more round of getting into Circle, and then we're going to, over next week, start to really make a bigger push to transition, and then the following week, a full board gone, and Discord will just be there as an empty building with signs that tell you where the new building is, and then we'll shut her down. Lastly, but not leastly, in my last 4 minutes here, let me get to the sample trading plan outline. If you haven't started playing around in there, get in there. And then when you look at it, be like, is it too much, too little, more of this, less of that? Reorganize. Let's collaboratively really work to get that thing shaped quickly to what it needs to be. How do we get in? You know what, Bob? If you scroll up to the chat from yesterday, there is a link there, and you can click that link to get in. In our current chat, just scroll up. Anyone else who hasn't gotten in, scroll up, and you'll see yesterday at 7:27 p.m. my time, whatever that translates to where you are. I posted the log to get into our group. So go grab that and you can join. And then here is the trading plan. We are working on, I did the sample. That's fine. That's fine. We're working on routines. What do I need? What is it? When is it? For how long? I did not mean to do that. And then what do I do, and in what order? Before, during, after, and then I have weekly. So, what is the routine? When are you going to do it, and for how long? And what are the activities? That's it. Give us the construct. Build it. Build it perfectly the way it's supposed to be. One of the things you're going to do in 2025, we're not going to have hey, let's build a trading plan, New Year's resolution. We should have a trading plan. We're going to measure our efficiency and implement accountability mechanisms that say, am I executing at 80 to 90% correlation to my plan? I can't have rules and then not follow them. That's not useful. So that's what we're going to look to do. So we want to make sure we're prepared for that. All right. Look at that. Finishing with 1 minute to spare. Questions, comments, or concerns? Anybody let me know. Yep. We're working in a nice bull market. That's where we want to be. We are moving into a better community environment. Get to Circle. Schedule as usual, 11 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. It's great to see everybody. Have an amazing weekend. Enjoy the fall. Can't find the Circle link in chat. Let me see if I can't post it one more time here. Copy link and paste. Bam. There it is. Wait. No, did that work? Let me do this. Copy and paste. Boom. There should be 2 ways for you to grab it. If you're not in there, click and there's the closing bell. If you aren't in there yet, click on that link that I just posted. And yeah, I don't know, Press, they may need the one that I have because it has an invite token involved in the link, but I don't know. Yeah, but okay. You're all amazing. Enjoy the fall weather. See you Sunday. Happy trading.